Wouldn't you just think that spring was back or something, huh? But it's not. Winter just hasn't properly arrived, is what's going on. I'm a bit chilly. Maybe I should have put on the bigger coat. Oh dear, oh dear. I'm noticing that a couple of the plants that I put out on the wilder edges seem to still have food on them. Let's go see if that's true. So if you didn't know, we had, and I'll put it right there, a bit of a winter wonderland for a few days. We'll just put up the winter wonderland video. There's also one about freeze thaw, which I could also link. I'm so bad about that shovel, my goodness. So after a few days of pretty heavy snow, well, look at that. It's not quite right, but it's also not the only one, and the other ones look good. This is Joan J. Thornless, and so are all these chewed on twigs, which one of these days I'm gonna get to a Tractor Supply and get those wire bar things that can go down around your shed, because I have nasty groundhogs. So those are there. Oh, I'm shivering a bit, so pardon me if my voice quivers or anything like that. Luckily, oh, burr, my goodness. Luckily, the weather is warmed up. Oh, you see how I've been using my boxes. I did slip a bit back here. I do want to put a lot more wood chips on top of these too. From about here back, I think, at this point. Oh, it's drizzling. That's unpleasant. Whew, that's a cold rain. You know, let me set down the coffee real quick and to zip my coat the rest of the way so that I'm not as chilled. Now I have like a funnel vision. This coat's a little funny. It zips the whole way to the tip of the hood. Sorry, I know that was crooked. I'm trying here. It's like a strange hood there. Yeah, so it doesn't seem like there's much still rolling here. We do still have catnip. Maybe I'll take some kitty nippers in. Maybe even rub some of it onto the cat shelf so that Oops will be more wanting to be up there. So did you know, have I mentioned it, that one of the common names for goji berry is Christmas berry? And considering we're now on December 5th, that's a pretty good name. Because I think we'll still have those berries, regardless of the weather, right through the winter, probably all the way into February, which is our actually like properly cold month. See? And they're perfectly good to pick today. That one's a little off. That one is a little bit off because I can see because it's a little bit glassy, but this one's nice and opaque. And this one's definitely off, but that happens. It probably got pecked on by a bird and then got some rottenness in there. Oh, it's coming down drizzly and kind of gross right now. Darn it. I got good energy and I'm ready to do stuff, but I don't know if I'm ready to do stuff in this weather. Oof. This weather is unpleasant. Goodness gracious. Well, we got a rain drip on the shield, don't we? Hold on. Sorry about that. All right. Yeah, so a little bit of food, and this is the kind of thing that I want to expand upon, is identifying plants that continue to produce through cold weather. And if you know of any, I am very interested in hearing plants that continue to produce when there's snow drenched across them, or that just hold their fruit. I do have an aronia berry, and it's pretty well known for that. The aronia berry just hasn't produced anything yet because it's young. It just hasn't done that yet. Let's see, and what else? I do want to get a meter persimmon eventually, but I haven't figured out where I'm going to put it. Maybe when I dig out the pear, I could put a persimmon there. I think they're a little more shade tolerant. And in this little corner here, I also don't think I'd mind letting it get a proper height. But what I'm really thinking for new plants this year is a, so I'm looking at the Twisted Tree Nursery website. This is slick. I really need to redo the stair area right here. Twisted Tree Farm Nursery, I can't remember exactly. See? Turkish rocket. That's going to be a winter producer too, isn't it? That's great. That's great. And of course sage, but it's not really like a vegetable, you know. And we do still have hollyhock. You can eat the leaves, but I do prefer the leaves that aren't so fuzzy. I need to figure out where to get seeds for the ones that aren't so fuzzy. Of course, onions, tons of onions. I could go dig in some skirret, but I really want the skirret to get established. Those twigs right there are the aronia berry. And it'll definitely have berries on it in winter. Once it starts having berries at all. And I've noticed there's a radish here that's quite happily tucked in the crevices between my tire side of the raised bed wall, which definitely still needs some work. Definitely. Let's see. And of course I can dig the sunchokes all winter. Yes, I can. Lovage not so much. That's looking a bit sad for the winter. And I went ahead and left my garlic just keep go. I should probably lift it and divide it and get it going a bit more, but that's the soft neck that I just replanted from an order that I got from I think it was Misfits, which is basically a grocery store rejects food subscription service where you get whatever there's extra of, or that looked too funny for the grocery store to want to deal with. It'll be interesting to see what the new installments do through the winter too once they're established, because there's the 3 sea kale here, and I don't know how winter hardy those are either. The Turkish rocket is obviously winter hardy because I just put in that's from Edible Acres, and I just put in that in November, a month ago, and it's already got a couple leaves. I mean, of course it needs to get established, but next year it's probably going to be quite plentiful. So this is a very interesting thing to keep in mind, is can I continue to have fresh food through the winter? And I think the answer is yes, probably. Don't see why not. You know, those sorts of answers. And then of course I gotta work on learning how to do things like, I need to learn to better preserve rhubarb, because it's like, if I'm not gonna use it right away, I don't honestly necessarily see the point in harvesting it, because I'm not so good at figuring out how to preserve it. And frankly, I'm a bit lazy on the food preservation side. Like, that takes more intentional thought for me to want to do. than the gardening does. Isn't that odd? So yeah, if you know good wintertime food producers, in addition to the ones that I of course just listed, I'm super interested. Or if you know something special about the ones that I did list, I'm interested to hear what you're thinking about those kind of things, because it's always something I want to be expanding on here. It's just like all year round food. Even with the winter, I don't see why not. Our winters are cold, but they honestly don't stay that way that long. I'm gonna get some cress going here. I've got bitter cress, which is all right. But it is bitter. Imagine that. I originally thought it was the Pennsylvanica variety of cress, but I do not believe it is. I think it's bitter cress. So maybe I should get Pennsylvanica cress. I'm not remembering the first word in the Latin for cress, but what can you do? Yep, cold. I need gloves. Gonna go get gloves. Thank you so much for visiting the cliffside. This has been Permaculture. Thanks for visiting. Take care. Bye.